Okay, here we go. Number 1. Give us an intro.
This is VVLP covering Sin and Punishment 1. Famous N64 game from Japan that no one played.
To be fair, I've never played it.
So you have no experience with this game at all?
No, I have no idea what the hell's going on. I heard it's kind of like Star Fox, and there's a gunblade and poofy pants.
Also, N64 Blood. Look at it.
It's
There's two games that do that.
It's so red.
Ocarina of Time original and this. And maybe Body Harvest.
To be fair, for an N64 game, this doesn't look awful.
It's actually got like the voice acting is wonky, because, you know, but it's not bad.
Didn't I tell you? Make me the bait.
There's only so much you can do with an N64 game.
Oh, by the way, kind of important, this intro cinematic, this only plays if you hang out on the start menu for a while. The game's story is crazy, so whether you really watch this or not...
Is that a dragon?
Kinda. We'll see.
Are we gonna have zombies and dragons?
Nope, not zombies. Just dragon things.
Michiko's group. They've all been killed.
Achi? Did you see them? Cold-blooded killers. Even if we steal the transport,
what?
it won't mean anything if
What's
we
the
don't
story of this?
Relax, Iron.
Well,
Saki.
the girl you see on the right is named Achi. The tall girl wearing the cool suit jacket thing is named Iron.
like we expected.
And the girl, I mean, dude, he's totally a dude, guys, for real, with the crazy hair, is Saki. And they're part of a resistance group that's fighting this military group called the On Volunteers for reasons.
Wait, there's a military group called the On Volunteers?
Yes.
The hell?
They say it later, and they're like, the On Volunteers ship. Anyway, here's the actual game. It's got, like, control settings you can use, and it's really nice and fancy.
What the fuck?
Here we go, first level. So, anyway, for most of the game you play as Saki. You might notice that he has the poofiest pants in existence.
Those are pants?
Those are pants.
I thought that was some form of super kilt.
Nope, those are his pants. The N64 was not kind.
Why were you shooting a tree?
Everything you shoot, you notice if I kill anything, it says hit and then a number.
Yeah?
Once you rack up 300, you get a life. And then you get a life every 100 past that. So, it's to just shoot everything that moves. It also gives you points. It's kind of an arcadey thing.
To be fair, I don't think that tree was moving, Brad.
The trees will actually hurt you. Like, later in the stage, some of the trees fall over, and if you're not paying attention, which is really easy to do, you'll take damage. See, here's the weird thing. Because it's on the N64, the original control scheme, or at least the one I used, you move the reticle with the left analog stick, you move left and right with the triggers, you shoot with the B button, you jump with the A button, and you switch your shot type with the C buttons. I don't think I switched my shot type once. The other shot type has a blue reticle, and essentially you lock onto targets, which is, you know, better for accuracy, but you do far less damage, so it's just better to manually aim all the time. But yeah, this game kind of has a problem wherein you'll assess the situation, like, oh, there's a tree coming up that I need to jump over. And then you need to figure out, like, you need to basically do the hand... Yeah, see, like, look, this tree falls over, and I cut it in half with the sword. Anyway. So, there's jumping, moving, shooting, and aiming, and you need to do all of these things simultaneously. And it gets hairy later.
As a child of ADD, I am lost and confused in the most strange of ways.
Basically, in terms of the actual, like, besides the movement controls, all you really need to know is that long range, you have your gun, which does really good damage. You have a dodge roll, which gives you several invulnerability frames, and if a certain attack gets close to you, or an enemy or obstacles get close to you, and you tap the attack button instead of holding it down, you'll repeatedly use your sword, which does ridiculous damage and kills the hell out of everything. And more story.
That was the first level. There was no context to any of that.
It was a dream.
Saki! Oh, Saki!
Is that the plot twist?
Good morning, Saki.
Nope, just that.
Good morning, Iron.
Isn't that a gunblade?
Sure is.
Why would you throw a gunblade at somebody who just woke up?
Come on, we've got work to do.
Because action and stuff.
Let's go.
Okay, so here's where you actually get to see the game with a not shitty camera. The dream sequences is really, like, it has the camera way too low to be able to see anything properly. Yeah, by the way, this game loves boss. Oh yeah, you see how the reticle's blue right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the homing shot. I don't think I ever used it, but there it is. It's the same thing, but you have a blue reticle instead of a red reticle. But yeah, you see that missile that flew over my head?
Yeah.
If I had jumped and tapped the attack button, I could have reflected the missile back at them, and it does really good damage.
Well, yeah, it's a missile to the face.
Well, later it'll be stuff like fireballs, other enemies, chunks of meat, jets, just pretty much anything you can think of. If it looks like a projectile that you could hit back, chances are good you can.
Did you just say jets?
Yes.
I can hit somebody in the face with a jet as reflected by a sword.
Pretty sure. If not in this game, then the sequel. By the way,
What?
everyone knows the police force is like 70% ninjas. Oh yeah, here we go. See? Reflected.
Yeah.
And, 30% armed gunmen. That seems fair and sensible.
Bonus.
Also, this game loves boss fights. That gate was considered a boss fight.
Ruffians here already?
So anyway, these crazy demon things, the birds, the bugs, the dogs, pretty much everything you see that isn't human, these are all ruffians, which is a mispronunciation of the word Lufian, apparently.
What the butts is a Lufian?
I don't know. That was like the crazy alien name that they gave him, but...
Is that a giant enemy crab?
Yes, that is a giant enemy crab, and now it's dead. And then it blows the fuck up.
Giant enemy crab.
But yeah,
Wait.
here's a good example of the hand gymnastics you have to go through. You have to move left and right, jumping, while simultaneously shooting.
I'm gonna be entirely honest, this game would kick my ass.
It is really hard.
Bonus.
Where'd they come from?
You seem to be doing fine.
I have a lot of practice for the first third of the game.
Iron, cover our backs.
Pretty much everything else after okay, the first third of the game you play as Saki. The second section you play as his female accomplice Iron. And then the third section you play as Saki again. Now, it just scales up in difficulty. You'll see what it.
Nothing like insult to injury when you kill somebody with their own attack.
To be fair, hitting them with the sword usually does about double to triple your shot
Come on,
damage.
quick, into
Hitting them with a
Shinjuku
missile
Station.
usually does
Hurry,
5 to like 8 times that, which is ridiculous.
So we coming up on the end of this segment?
They're moving? You think they're onto us?
We're approaching it.
But they're probably more worried about the ruffians.
Once
Sorry.
again,
The hell of an intro.
Saki's pants. Behold.
Check it out.
It looks like a kilt, man.
64 times. Also, this version of the game is played on the Wii, which has the menus translated into English. I think the textures on Saki are actually different than in the regular version. He just looks a little bit smoother than he does in the rest of it. I don't know. That could just be paranoia.
Have you taken a hit yet?
Nope.
impressive.
It's not.
Well, it is to me, okay?
The first section of this looks really cool, but it's not that hard at all. Also, that sword is awesome. It does so much damage, and it's so much fun to use.
Begs the question, why don't you just always use the sword?
You need to be in range. Also, people are obnoxiously tall, as you can see. Saki's supposed to be like 5 foot something.
Oh, your first hit.
But as you
Is
can
that
see, it's
Crazy
kind of,
demon bats?
yeah, it's kind of a juggling act where it's like you want to shoot him all the time, but then he jumps closer, and then it's like, do I continue shooting him and hit him with the sword, or what?
Capturing Radon is our
Also, this woman's important. Also, that giant demon wolf thing is important.
How are you supposed to keep track of all this?
It's a balancing act. It is like that is legitimately the hardest part of the game, and that's why the rest of the game past this beginning section is so much harder. Is because they just keep throwing more complex stuff at you at the same time. Like the end of the game. Oh boy.
I'm looking forward to that.
But like honestly, it doesn't look bad for an N64 game.
No, all things considered. Not as good as, like, the Legend of Zelda games, but a lot more is going on, to be fair. Oh no!
So yeah, that dragon you pointed out in the intro, that's this thing.
You gonna fight it?
Yep, of course you do.
You gonna fight it now?
Boss fights. Yes, you do. So this is Radon. She's kind of important from a plot standpoint, but she's not really important from the immediate story. This game has lore, kind of, not really. Also, that laser attack is evil.
That laser attack looks bullshit.
Even if you have to jump at just the right time and just stay in the air as long as possible. But, like, when you land, you'll land in the laser. It just won't hurt you. Like, I think I do it this... Yeah, look at that.
As I said, looks kinda bullshit.
Also, this is the first and only time I've ever killed Radon without knocking her off the edge.
Huh.
Because when she falls off the edge, she takes 1,000 damage.
My research materials. How could you?
So you're the leader of these killers. Kachua, stop. He's one of the rebels.
Let me take him. He's only human. Now's our chance to test the power of the blood you gave me.
What?
So yeah, here's the thing. There's this crazy magic blood, and if you get it, you like mutate and get superpowers is kind of the setup of the story. So this chick, notice how she's called Kachua. If you look at the bottom of the screen, she only has 10 health. So like one shot of anything will kill her. So this is kind of a puzzle fight where she summons goons to throw at you. Also tried to cut that, but on harder difficulties, this gets ridiculous. She gets way more patterns. But yeah, do you kind of see what I mean about this being like really busy in terms of screen space?
Get bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, she charges you, you hit her with the sword once, and she dies. Because her poofy pants are no match for your poofy pants.
I have no context.
There really is no context.
Those are fast-moving clouds. Japan. Lava? What?
So anyway, what do you know about Japan being engulfed ocean of blood?
Okay, Saki. Show me what you've got.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's normal.
It's a Gundam?
Nope, it's an angel. No. This is Saki's post-metamorphosis. Essentially, you know, crazy magic blood that I just mentioned a while ago turns into like a crazy dual-bladed hand monster thing. By the way, that's Kachua. She, like, her fucked up arm is now this floating thing which is only like slightly attached, and her other arm is this really big thing that she tries to strike you with. Also, your dodge roll teleports you, which is really cool. But aside from that, all of your abilities are the same.
I'm having trouble keeping track of where a lot of these attacks are coming from.
That's completely normal. That's the only... They have decent flags for like, I'm gonna attack, so, you know, like ramming up. But there's just so much stuff going on.
Did you just leap through the blood tsunami?
Yeah. Took me forever to figure out you can do that. You can also teleport through it. You can't cut it. You can cut the, like, the, yeah, for this second half of the fight, she throws these blades at you, and you can cut those.
Yeah, found it.
This is trial and error in the most extreme of manners.
It really, like, it kind of looks like it, but there's not a lot you can do at any point. So most of the time, you're just going to be moving left and right and shooting a lot.
There we go.
That Kachu was dead.
And Japan is basically gone.
Japan is completely gone.
Saki! Saki! We can't go near
They got right to the point of that. What are you, 10 minutes into this?
We can change him back, okay? Just not now.
And they just blew up a country and turned you into a dragon?
Damn it!
Oh my god, swearing in an N64 game. And with them leaving, that's the end of this part.
Alright.